All right then, so we successfully finished the wireframe. So this is how it looks, but the expected output should look like this. So in order to achieve this, we need to start writing the styles for the CSS. So let's go ahead and start writing the CSS styles. Let's jump into the CSS. Right after here, the text color of the entire card should looks like something this very specific color, hash B3, B8 and CD, CH. So this is how it looks, right? Something like this. Perfect. Now we have the colors looking much better. Okay. Then I need to add some shadow effects for this. So box shadow. So 0 pixels, 10 pixels, 20 pixels and minus 10 pixels and RGBA 000 0.75. Save it. So now you should be able to see we're having a nice shadow effect only at the bottom. All right. So let's go ahead. Perfect. That looks awesome. And then now inside everything, it should be display flex direction column. Save it. Then align items in the center and justify the content in the starting point. So including the pro also, it's been pushed to the center over here. So next what I need to do is I need to increase the gap as 12 pixels between each and every element. Save it. Now we do have some gaps. And I need to mark this particular card as a position relative. So if only if the parent element, if it is a relative, inside any sub elements, if I keep it as an absolute position, I can align them in the exact specific point anywhere I needed it. All right. So that's the reason I kept it as a position a relative. Then we need to jump to the this particular pro. Copy this span tag and let me target this one. Dot card 3 dot pro. Open it. So for this, I'm gonna make this position as absolute. So once I make this position as an absolute, it will be on the exact starting point of that card right after the padding where it's been starting. So from the top, I need to make this as 20 pixels. So then from the left, I need to push this guy the 20 pixels. Now you should be able to see 20 pixels top and bottom. You should be able to see the pro right over here, right? So then right after here for this pro, we need to make some changes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some changes for the color. So color, which is going to be hash FEBB0B, something like this. Okay. Then I need to change the color as well. Color, which is going to be hash 231E39. Exact the background, same background color. Then I need to adjust the font size, which is going to be the 14 pixels, and then border radius, which is going to be 3 pixels, and then font weight, which is going to be the bold. It looks like this. Then we need to adjust the padding. So padding top and bottom, which is going to be 3 pixels, and left and right, which is going to be 7 pixels, something like this. All right, that looks awesome. Perfect. Then let's worry about this image box now. So for this image box, copy this image box. All right. So for that image box, let's go here. Dot card 3 dot image box, which is going to be width as 225 pixels and height as 225 pixels and border radius as 100%, and padding, I need to have little bit padding, so 5 pixels. Then we need to have this border, which is going to be 2 pixels solid, and border color should be hash 03 BFCB, something like this. Okay, this is how it looks. Perfect. And inside this, everything should be display flex, align item center and justify the content in the center, and overflow should be hidden. Save it. And inside this dot card 3 dot image box img, the width should be 100%, height should be 100 percentage, and object fit should be cover. Save it, and now let's uncomment this image. So you should be able to see something like this. Okay, so the reason is because it is not looking quite exactly how we wanted it because of this. Uncheck this and then do the same border radius over here as well. As now it will look perfectly how we wanted it, just like this. All right, so that's looking perfectly fine. Then next what I need to do is I need to focus on this name. So let's go ahead and copy this content box, copy this, paste it, dot card 3 dot content box, open it. Width, of course, it should be full, access the complete width. Then text align should be in the center, that's perfectly fine. All right, then inside the content box only, dot card 3 dot content box h4. I need to add some margin, top and bottom. Let's bring 10 pixels and 0 pixels, so you should be able to have some space over here. Then for this I'm going to say font size, which is going to be 24 pixels. That's how it looks. Then let me target the span tag, which is inside the h4. Copy this span tag, which is going to be display block, should take the completely to the new line. Then the font size, which is going to be the 16 pixels, just like that. If you wish to keep it much more bigger, that's up to you. You can keep it as much more bigger. Then for this what's that, this paragraph tag inside the content box, we do have this paragraph tag, right? The paragraph tag, for that I need to increase the margin, let's say 10 pixels and 0 pixels. Save it. Now still you have some much more space, and for this I can say font size, which is going to be 20 pixels, little bit bigger like that, or you can keep it as 18 pixels itself, 18 pixels. And the letter spacing, which is going to be 1.25 pixels. Save it. This is how it looks like. Then let's focus on this action buttons. Copy this action buttons, get over here, dot card 3 dot action buttons, width 100 percentage, display flex, align item center, and justify content center, and then gap between, which is going to be 12 pixels. All right, so then what I need to do is I need to focus on this buttons. All right, so copy this dot card 3 dot action buttons, button, oops, button. So for this button, what we can do is let's write the padding, which is going to be 10 pixels and 25 pixels, something like that. Then we need to add some border, which is going to be 1 pixel solid and hash 03, oops, hash 03 FCB, that's the border. And then the border radius, which is going to be 3 pixels, and we don't need the outline, so none. Then font family should be monospace, and font weight, which is going to be 500, and then the cursor should be pointer. So this is how it looks, right? So right now it doesn't have any background colors for both of the buttons, so I'm going to target those buttons now right now. So let's target the first child in that button group. So first child, the background color of that button should be hash 0 something like this. See, this is how it looks. And let's target the last child. Instead of first child, let's target the last child. And that is going to be transparent. And then the text color should be hash 02899C, something like this. This is how it looks. Perfect, right? That's exactly what we do have over there. Looking great. So now all we have to do is to get into the skills section. So let's get back to the skills now. Copy the skills, get over here, and inside the card 3 of skills, open it. So we need to write these skills sections. So for the skills, I'm going to change the background color first, then which is going to be hash 1F1A36, something like this, which is quite darker than the background color. Then it should take the width as 100% complete width. You should be able to see that it's taking the complete width. All right. Otherwise, you can simply ignore this. I don't need that. And every text should be aligned in the left side. And then we need to remove the margin, and we need to remove if there is any padding as well as. All right. So for the safety purpose. Then inside the skills, we do have this UL tag, right? UL. For the UL tag, I'm just going to say list style. I'm going to make this as none. So I don't need any list style. So now I can't see anything. Then inside this card 3 dot skills and the UL and the LI tag, I'm going to add some border 1 pixel solid hash 2D2747. Save it. Now you should be able to see that border effects over here, right? Then I'm going to add some border radius, which is going to be 2 pixels. Then display inline block, save it. Then this is how it will looks like. Then right after that, I'm going to add the font size, which is going to be 12 pixels, and margin 0 pixels, 7 pixels, 7 pixels, 0 pixels. This is how it looks. Then padding, I'm going to increase the padding as 7 pixels. So now you will have some breathing space for each and every text over here, right? So if you need some space on the margin, so I'm going to increase the margin top and bottom as 10 pixels and 0 pixels. So you should be able to have some space over here. So if you wish to increase the color or the size, feel free to increase it by yourself. So if I reduce it, and this is how it looks on the mobile screen, and if I increase it, and this is how it looks on the normal screen. All right, so we successfully finished the CSS works, and now all we have to do is to go ahead and push it to our GitHub, and that's what we are going to do next.